So suppose I already have an equation for a certain situation. In this particular case, I have a situation where I'm making posters, and X is my number of posters, Y is the cost of producing the posters, and I have an equation that shows me the relationship between the cost and the number of posters, and it's Y equals 5 over 22X plus 30. So how much will it cost to produce 20 posters? Well, basically, this is just substitution. I know that X is the number of posters. I'm finding out how much Y would be the cost if I produce 20 posters, so I need to put in a 20, substitute it in for the X, and find out what the Y is. So here I go. I have Y equals to 5 over 22, and instead of writing the X here, my X is 20. I'm going to put in the 20 right there, and then I add 30 to that. So I take out my calculator and I can go ahead and throw that right in there. 5 divided by 22 times 20, and I get 4.54 repeating. And then I'm going to add 30 to that, and that's going to give me 34.54 repeating. Okay, so what does that tell me? If I were to round this to the nearest cent, I just found the cost, which is because Y is the cost, and that cost is going to be, cost is $34.55 if I round that up to the nearest cent. Okay. What if instead of asking for the cost, this time I'm told how much it cost me, and I'm trying to find out how many posters did I make that actually made that cost? Well, this time they're telling me the Y of the equation, the cost, and I need to find out the X. Okay, so I'm going to plug in, instead of Y, I'm going to plug in $36.82, and that's going to equal to 5 over 22 times X. I don't know what X is, that's what I need to find out, plus the 30. Okay, so now I need to solve for X. This X here has 30 added to it. I do the opposite. I subtract 30, and I end up with $6.82 equals to 5 divided by 22X. The opposite of multiplying by 5 over 22 is dividing by 5 over 22, but dividing by a fraction is the same thing as multiplying by its reciprocal. So one way of getting rid of this is to multiply both sides here by 22 over 5. So I'm going to multiply this by 22 over 5. So on this side, I'm going to actually take on my calculator, do 22 divided by 5, and then multiply it by 6.68. And that gives me 29.392 is equal to X. So what did I just find? I found that the closest number I can get to that is approximately 29 posters that I created. So I just caught a mistake in there. When I did $36.82 and I subtracted the 30, I got 668. That's not right. That should be 682. So do a quick fix there, 682. And if I multiply that by 22 over 5, I don't get 29.392. I actually get 30 and 8 thousandths. And that rounds up to a much neater number there. It's approximately 30 posters in there, which makes so the cost of $36.82 would be the cost if I had produced 30 posters.